Part of this video is sponsored by Incogni. Alright, if that is not an epic assortment of snacks, I don't know what. Pickled mushrooms, then Lithuanian rye bread. What the hell? What the hell? Pink soup flavored potato chips. They're so delicious. Man, is it good. It just melts in your mouth. Garlic dark bread chips. Welcome back to Lithuania. We've already eaten our way through the country and we've even learned how to make their legendary pink soup ourselves. But if you really want to understand the nation's food culture, you don't go to restaurants, you raid their supermarkets. This is where the people's real-life favorite snacks, sauces, and secret obsessions hide. Let's find out which Lithuanian supermarket items are hidden gems the world should know more about and which ones should better stay on the shelf. Behind us is the largest supermarket in Vilnius, or one of them. I don't want to jump because I know exactly I'm going to break my ass. Let's go! Let's enter this temple of Lithuanian foods. Holy shit, just check this out, guys. I feel like we could have done the entire Lithuanian food tour just here, because there's an enormous counter that apparently seems to have every single Lithuanian dish ever created. You can just buy them, take them home. How cool is that? Also, in case we've forgotten that we're in a Baltic country by the Baltic Sea, which obviously has a ton of amazing seafood, well, just take a look over here. There's this massive fish counter. I have never seen anything like it, even close to this, in Germany. I feel like Lithuanians are really lucky to have so much fresh fish and smoked fish in a supermarket. Oh, and that rich selection of fish also includes about a gajillion different types of pickled herring. Over here, we have different types of beef jerky, but in Lithuania, wherever there's beef jerky, there are also pig's ears. They love this stuff over here. We have tried some yesterday, but today we're gonna try these. Cheese and onion pig ears. What could go wrong? Welcome to the processed meats section. We have plenty of different types of, hams and mystery meats here, and something that is near and dear to my heart, as you know, if you watch my channel, is this, the good old Soviet Dr. Sausage. Of course, this post-Soviet republic has it. And what they also have, which I just spotted, is this, cranberry duck liver pate. I think both of them sound delicious. Over here, we basically have a Slim Jims section. I don't know, let's call it that. And I mean, these are Polish, I think, but Poland and Lithuania used to be one country a very long time ago. And when you see this, you just can't say no. Look at this, so much Hellmann's mayo. But who needs Hellmann's mayo when you have Vilnius mayo, of course? And I think this seems to be a mushroom mayo, which I hate mushrooms, but I love mayo. I know we already have quite a few dried meats, but when I see chicken breast jerky, I'm gonna go, what? And grab this honey mustard chicken jerky. Anyone's birthday coming up? Because I'm seeing a whole lot of super delicious cakes, and if there wasn't any glass here, I'd love to just grab one and eat it. Oh, the glass is over. Now, as we've learned, the Baltics are absolutely obsessed with dairy. Anything you buy here, anything you eat here, comes with a big fat dollop of sour cream. And this is the cottage cheese section. This one looks really interesting. We're just gonna grab it and see what it tastes like. But also, there is no way not buying a big fat pack of kefir, because that is definitely a signature drink here. Welcome to the cheese section, and this is where things get really interesting because we have this cheese over here. Jugas, I think it's pronounced, and they are really going hard on trying to market this as a global alternative for Parmesan, which is of course very rare and very fancy. So we're gonna try some of this, the most aged version of it, 36 months. We're just gonna get the pre-crumbled version so we don't have to crumble it ourselves. But since we're already in the cheese section, you know what? Who's gonna say no to crunchy cheese balls with truffle flavor? Or how about whatever this cheese situation is, like cheese strips with tomato and bruschetta flavor? We could spend a whole lifetime in the dairy section, but at some point we do have to get out of here. But there's one more thing we cannot miss out on, and that is this. This is basically a little cream cheese stick glazed in chocolate. And these, I know these from my childhood. They're absolutely delicious, but they're also extremely cheap. This is the most expensive one at 85 cents. They go as low as 29 cents. We're not gonna go there today, but what we are gonna do is try a couple more varieties. This one has poppy seeds. That sounds pretty interesting. And also, I wanna try a funky one like this coconut flavored cream cheese stick with chocolate. We already know Lithuanians love their freaky ass tree cakes, but we're not falling for them again. We already tried them at what is apparently the best store in all of Vilnius, and they were fine. I take you to the candy shop. We got all these nice post-Soviet candies here, which most of them I have actually seen in my life and tasted them, but there are also some that I have never seen, and I'm hoping that they're super special Lithuanian things, like the good old Nomeda bar, peanut butter and jelly. That looks kind of sick. But then also, you can't just have the peanut butter and jelly bar without trying the classic one, which I have no idea what's inside, but we're gonna do this. Oh, and the cool thing is, these are not sold individually. You grab a bag and they're sold by the kilo. And I'm also gonna grab a couple of these because they look kind of interesting, and this is definitely a Lithuanian brand. It's hardly a secret that Lithuanians love their rye bread, and this is a pretty sweet selection of just that. Now, my friend Maria, who hooked us up with a countless amount of invaluable tips for this trip, she recommended this bread, which is actually surprisingly light. And she says it has a nice hint of caraway. So we're gonna get that, but that is a light one. And of course we could not leave here without getting a super dark one like this, which literally looks and feels like it could stop a bullet. This is so dense and heavy. I could lift weights with this. Guys, I just walked past the coffee section, which obviously they have here, but then I see this hot berry drink. This looks very Lithuanian to me, and I'm sure it's delicious knowing the quality of berries here. We're in the frozen foods aisle, which we're mostly gonna skip today, but by the amount of condensation here, you can tell that this is clearly the most popular item in this island. That is chicken Kiev. Yes, this is a fried chicken cutlet stuffed with garlic and herb butter. One of the best things on this planet. We've all had canned button mushrooms before, nothing to write home about, but in Eastern Europe, people love pickled mushrooms. And we also have other types of mushrooms that you normally don't see like that. So we're gonna buy these ones. Nameko? I don't know, looks good though. According to my friend Maria, Lithuanians are absolutely obsessed with ketchup. And I think I know what she means now. Look at this. Plus, this is just one part of the ketchup aisle. No matter where you go in the store, there's ketchup everywhere. In every nook and cranny, there's a bottle of ketchup. And also, look at all these different types. We have original, classic, whatever the difference is. But then we have basil, cinnamon, shashlik, spicy ketchup. And of course, we have the Heinz section, which includes Heinz flavors I have never seen before, like Heinz smoky bacon ketchup. I mean, I'd try that. But today we're gonna go for this cinnamon ketchup because it sounds so weird and I can't even imagine what it tastes like. So let's try it. The gummy candy aisle is mostly stocked with things I have already seen in pretty much any country in the world. But this brand, look, I'm not sure about this. I could be wrong, but I've never seen it before. So I'm just hoping it's a local one. And very berry cherry fruit strips sounds kind of good. Hey guys, do you like sunflower seeds? Lithuania's answer is yes. And we have a whole section full of just sunflower seeds. We're of course not going for the classic ones. We are going for cheese-flavored sunflower seeds today. Okay guys, this is the potato chip section and I was looking for interesting flavors when I spotted this. We do not only have pink soup flavored potato chips, which that's gonna be funky. No, we also have this. Do I need to say more? We're trying this. By the way, wheat is not legal here. Garlic dark bread chips. If you remember our Lithuanian food tour, you know one of the absolute highlights was the big finale when we had some beer with those crispy fried pieces of rye bread. And you know what? They have them in potato chip form, or should I say, garlic dark bread chips. These look really good and I don't think we should leave them untried. Guys, I think we have enough for today. Let's go to the checkout and try all of this incredible Lithuanian food. Part of this video is sponsored by Incogni. Ever had one of those moments where someone contacts you online and somehow they know way too much about you? That happened to me recently. I actually had to stop and think, wait, do I really know this person? Well, turns out no. It was just a scammer with access to way too much of my personal info, and that's when I realized this is more than creepy, it's actually dangerous. So I started looking into how this is even possible, and yeah, data brokers. They collect your info, build profiles on you, and then they sell it to basically anyone who's willing to pay. Your home address, email, phone number, even stuff like your political views or your relatives, it's all just out there. And that is where Incogni comes in. Incogni is a service that automatically contacts over 230 data brokers on your behalf and tells them to delete your personal data. And not just once, it keeps doing it in case your info pops up again. I've been using Incogni for a while now, and honestly, it's a huge relief knowing someone else is dealing with all that BS for me. This is for everyone around the world, but if you're in the US, this is extra urgent. You guys have people search sites over there which are an absolute privacy nightmare. So yeah, take your data back. Go to incogni.com/andongdeal and use my code andongdeal to get 60% off an annual plan. Seriously, try it, feel safer, maybe sleep better even. Thank you Incogni for sponsoring this video. All right, if that is not an epic assortment of snacks, I don't know what is. We're gonna try every single one of these and then put them on a big ass tier list. Let's go. Because we're serious about this. Item number 1, cheese flavored sunflower seeds. I do really like sunflower seeds, however, I have never had cheese flavored ones. In fact, all the flavored sunflower seeds I've ever had in my entire life tasted like crap. But maybe Lithuania is gonna gift us the exception that makes the rule. Interesting. You know what completely surprises me? I don't think this is fake cheese. I'm pretty sure these have just been like tossed in a hard cheese like Parmesan and then baked. Unexpected, and you know what? Quite delicious. So yeah, there you have it. The first time I'm eating flavored sunflower seeds, I think these are pretty damn good. Can't decide if this should be a B tier or an A tier, but I think we have a lot of weird snacks coming up, so let's put it on an A tier. Next up we have pink soup flavored potato chips. They do not smell like pink soup at all. And by the way, in case you're confused, pink soup is Lithuania's national dish. We tried it on this food tour. We even cooked it ourselves, and these are chips. Okay, this is funny. They're actually pink. Very interesting. Here's the deal. These don't taste like pink soup at all, but they're very pleasant potato chips. You definitely get a little bit of dill, a tiny little bit of onion, and there's a mild sweetness, which I guess serves to simulate that mildly sweet note from the beets. As a potato chip, I think this would be between a B and an A tier, but since I think they did not deliver on the promise of tasting like pink soup, I'm gonna put these on the C tier. Well, it is about to get even weirder with these cannabis flavored potato chips. There's no smell. Okay. Hey. Zoom in on this. I think we got a tiny little bit of weed on this chip. Again, I'm pretty sure this is just gonna be a gimmick, but you never know. Huh? They're very spicy. What the hell is this? First thing, they're quite spicy, but in a very pleasant way, so I actually like that. I don't like all spicy potato chips, but these are really good. And they do have a very pleasant flavor, but I absolutely do not think they taste like cannabis. I don't like when they lie to me. And that is why these will also go on the C tier. Does it make me high? We'll find out by the end of this video. I think it's time to get a little more serious with these. Pretty sure these are Polish-style cabanossi sausages filled with a garlic cream. Ah, so much garlic! This is what they look like. Very soft and bendy. There's way too much garlic. Way too much garlic. I like garlic, I like salami, but that ain't it. No, for terrible balance of flavor, these are gonna go on the D tier. But if you thought that was weird, how about cheese and onion flavored pig ears? I gotta say Lithuanians love their pork. And I know pig's ears might sound a little bit weird, but generally I'm actually all for eating all parts of the animal. I think if we as humans decide to eat animals, that's what we should do. They smell delicious though. Texturally, they're a bit weird. They're quite a bit firmer. The smell is truly good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Are these really pig ears or is this just pork? You know what? I have no idea because it's all in Lithuanian. A little bit on the salty side, actually a lot on the salty side, but with some cold beers, this would actually be an A-tier snack. P.S. I'm actually not getting any cheese flavor. They're just salty, that's it. Our jerky journey is far from over because here we go, chicken jerky. I don't think I remember ever seeing chicken jerky, which, you know, there's probably a good reason for that. And we might learn that reason now. What the hell? What the hell? Yo. Okay, that is very unexpected. I thought we'll get some, you know, thick chunks of jerky, soft and pliable the way it usually is, but these are basically crispy chicken chips. They're also honey mustard flavored, at least that's what it says on the package. I feel like this could either be great or terrible. Let's see which one it is. Look, I appreciate the idea. A low-calorie jerky snack, high protein and all, but they're so chalky. It takes like a minute for them to hydrate in my mouth from my saliva. And then you realize how truly awful they taste. I mean, not horrible, but just no. I really wanted to like them, but unfortunately this is a... Okay, honestly, I'm never gonna eat these again, so let's put them on the E tier. All right, I could really use a break from all that weirdness and eat something I know is gonna be delicious. We've already had quite a lot of delicious rye bread on this journey, and these are the shelf-stable, store-bought version of garlic dark bread chips. Okay, I have had a lot of bread chips in my life because I love bread chips, but these are so thin and fine, you can almost look through them. What I'm also realizing is that they're almost glistening from probably a very generous amount of oil. Oh, here goes nothing. Lithuanian fried rye bread chips. Oh, That is one of the best salty snacks I've ever had in my life. Not kidding. These are so good. Light and crunchy, super garlicky. You would think they're very greasy, but they're not. That 100% is an S tier snack. No questions, no doubt about it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Lithuania, you did very well on garlic dark bread chips. So let's go from something that I knew I was gonna like to something I truly don't know how to even place. Crunchy cheese balls with truffle flavor. The shape is kind of weird. They're also refrigerated, so they're not even shelf stable. Let's get back to objective food ratings. Okay, I get it. That's been a journey. First impression when I put this in my mouth is like, what the hell is this? It's gross. Then actually, as you eat it, it's okay. You get the truffle, you get a nice cheesy note. You know what they remind me of? Have you ever tried frying Parmesan rinds? I'm pretty sure this is a product made from like leftover cheese rinds. Honestly, better than I first thought it would be. Still not my favorite snack, but I do kind of appreciate the attempt. Hey, I'm gonna put them on the C tier. Okay, I'm pretty sure we need to give Lithuanian cheese another chance with cheese hay, cheese strips, because I don't want to call them cheese strings. They're not. They're bruschetta flavored cheese thread. That's what I'm gonna call it. That is what I mean by cheese thread. All the bruschetta seasoning is here. There, that's the bruschetta flavor. Let's try some. Yeah. I mean, it's just very salty cheese. The bruschetta flavor, Actually tastes like bruschetta. That's maybe the most surprising part about this. I actually think this texture for cheese is very pleasant. You put them on a cheese board or even mix them into a salad. I think this will be bomb. The only thing is that they're way too salty, and that's why I can't do better than putting this on the C tier. Unfortunately, because once you balance the salt, this texture for cheese is great. This could be a lot higher on the list. But there is no way to talk about Lithuanian... Again, there's no way to talk about Lithuanian cheese without trying this. I'm gonna try pronouncing this. Juga? Juga? This cheese is being hyped left and right. In fact, you can even find it in some really fancy stores in Berlin. So I think we're onto something here. And you wanna know something? It comes in different levels of maturity. If you're a noob, you're gonna go for the mild one. You can go piquant, you can go delicate. But guys, on this channel, we know we're all gourmet. Whoa, these are chunky chunks. Gourmet Lithuanian cheese. Here we go. That's a fantastic cheese. Full of character, full of flavor, definitely very, very, very reminiscent of Parm. Flavor-wise, really super close. The biggest difference would probably be texture, because this cheese, it's quite a bit smoother than Parmesan. And what I mean by that is that it's lacking those little, like almost umami crystals that you get in a good Parm. But by no means is that a criticism. This cheese is very, very good. It can easily compete with Parmesan, I think. And considering it's quite a bit cheaper, I believe, I really think the Lithuanians are gonna give the Italians a run for their money in the cheese world. Mark my words. And that is why this gourmet Jugas cheese is gonna go on the A tier. That has been a lot of salt in my mouth, and I truly need a palate cleanser. And what could be better for that? That is so heavy. What could be better than Lithuanian rye bread? A light one and a dark one. Of course, we do have delicious things to put on this bread, but before we do, it would only be fair to give it a pure, unadulterated taste. Very strong caraway smell, which I like. Sweet, malty. Basically quite similar to most of the rye breads we tasted, but just milder, as you could guess by the color. That's a nice one. If you generally enjoy the rye breads, but you know, you just want it to be a little bit less dense, this one could be it. This bread by itself is gonna go on the B tier. But of course, we do have to taste the dark one, the truly classic Lithuanian rye bread. I can't say this often enough. Check out how dense this is. It smells delicious. You know how a Guinness beer smells? That is that smell. Very, very close. Okay. I'm gonna say not the best one out of all the rye breads we've had here. I'm sure this would benefit from a little bit of toasting. Generally, this type of bread is gonna go on the A tier, but this brand in particular, let's say B tier. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say if you fry or toast this, it's gonna be better. Honestly, it wouldn't be completely fair to just eat bread by itself. We do need to do the full thing with butter and, of course, some special items. The cranberry duck liver pate, and of course, the good old Dr. sausage. This is not just some random Wurst. This Dr. sausage is something all Slavic kids grew up with. I actually made an entire video only about this type of sausage. It features my grandma, it features rich lessons from history, and I even made this myself at home. We're of course gonna link the video. You can watch it after this one, but now let's make a sandwich. Some light rye bread, a bit of butter, and finally, our Baltic foie gras. Smells like a very nice liver pate, actually. Oh, it's smooth. Look at this. Must be fatty. A good schmear on this lovely bread. Very nice. I can't say I'm getting any cranberry notes. I also can't say I'm getting foie gras notes. I'm not even getting duck flavor. It's just a pretty good pate. Nothing special, but a solid B tier. Ah, yes. Good old mystery meat. get a big fat slice. A little bit sweaty, you know, wet, moist. And best eaten with a piece of rye bread, a lot of butter, and la pièce de résistance. Yeah, it's good. To some people, this might just be a good old bologna, mortadella, nothing special. But to me, it's the flavor of my childhood. Dr. Sausage is of course an S tier food for me, and this is a good one. Time for a little palate cleanser. A weird palate cleanser. We got pickled mushrooms. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't have any high expectations, but we've been surprised before. I have to say, they actually look kind of nice and pleasant. A little bit slimy, but oh God. Oh no, that looks bad. They smell okay. Much better than expected. You know, I'm not a mushroom guy, but these are fine. These are totally fine. They still have a little texture. They're a little acidic, a little salty. The mushroom flavor is not very pronounced, actually. I'm not gonna say this is a game changer, but I will say that these are definitely much better and a lot more interesting than pickled button mushrooms or canned. And that is why I think these actually deserve to go on the B tier. I truly need a little break to refresh myself, and what could be better than the hot berry drink, which actually, according to the package instructions, could also be a cold drink. And that sounds pretty good to me. It comes in a little sachet like this. Oh, we were actually just debating if this is a tea bag or if this is a powder. The answer is it's neither. Okay. It's so thick. On the package, it actually says 100 grams of this is made from 70% berries. I guess what they're trying to say is that there's a lot of berries in this. Even though it's a hot water drink, on the packaging it actually says you're supposed to use 60-degree water. So we're gonna do a little bit of cold water first, and then a little bit of hot water, so we should roughly come out at the right temperature. Let's give this a quick little stir. It's really pleasant. It's not too sweet. I'm getting berries, but I can't tell you which berries. It's really good, actually. I wasn't completely off with the mulled wine thing because I'm pretty sure there are some spices in this. I think I'm getting some clove and cinnamon, but this on a cold winter day is gonna be amazing, especially for kids, if I may say so. It's actually very nice. I don't really have a sweet tooth. I don't love mulled wine. I do love berries. And that is why this is only getting an A tier from me. But for people who are more into this very type of thing, this is definitely a keeper. It's finally time for the main course, which is of course chicken Kiev, a very popular chicken Kiev from the frozen aisle. After trying cepelini yesterday, this Lithuanian potato and meat dumpling that's shaped like a blimp, and now having this chicken Kiev in front of me, which is also shaped like a blimp, I'm starting to think that Lithuanians are really into blimp-shaped food. But of course we all know with chicken Kiev, all that matters is what's on the inside. So, well, look at that. What we have here is a hollow piece of cordon bleu. I honestly expected a lot more butter to be in here. You know what? Maybe this might be a technical issue from when we just reheated these, because I think some of those leaked. But maybe this one is better. Oh! Now that is a lot more like it. If you see a puddle of molten butter on your plate, you've done it right. It's like a schnitzel. It's a nice breaded crust. And it's a very tender, super flavorful chicken breast. I love chicken Kiev. I've only made it once in my life, a long time ago, and it's a little bit of a pain to make. So I'm actually very happy to see that this is a meal that works really well as a frozen option. It's so close to an S tier, so close, but just not quite there yet. So with a heavy heart, this goes on the A tier. I don't know what sorcery happened here that it tastes like this, but it's pretty good. And I actually have an idea. Can we please get the mushroom mayo? Vilnius mushroom mayo. It's almost like somebody took mayo and then mixed in a lot of shiitake powder. That's kind of what this smells like. We'll take a little bit, put it on the chicken Kiev. Oh. The mushroom mayo though, that's an A tier. That is truly delicious. You know what? Let's ruin the experience with the, yes. Experience already ruined. Cinnamon ketchup. I'm not making this up. There are cinnamon sticks on this. I don't think I love that. Let's put some on the chicken Kiev. So it's definitely cinnamon ketchup. And for some reason, it's not bad. Only people like the Lithuanians, who are obsessed with ketchup, clearly, can come up with something like this and give it a fair shake. But maybe without the Lithuanians, the world would never have known. I'm totally okay with this. This could almost be an A tier, but today, let's say B tier. It's finally time to move to the dessert section of the video. And we're starting it with something that's actually not quite a dessert, but it's usually eaten with sweet things. That is Eastern European style cottage cheese. To be fair, this is something I have eaten a lot before, but I think it should be in this video because it's just iconic and such a staple in countries like Lithuania. It has a certain savoriness, it has a very distinct tang, and it's just a lot firmer than most like yogurts or cottage cheeses you get in Western countries. It's actually almost a little dry, but that low moisture content actually makes it such a great ingredient for making all these things like cottage cheese pancakes and stuff that are so popular here. I just wish I had something to eat this with. Remember these from 1 or 2 videos ago? These are the wild strawberries we got at the Vilnius market yesterday, and they are, so fragrant. And I have a feeling they're gonna go extremely well with this cottage cheese. So good. Could use a little sweetener. Could drizzle this with a little bit of honey, that would make it even better. But that cottage cheese with the berries, really nice. As for a rating, this cottage cheese, I mean, it's really nice, but it's honestly nothing that will blow anyone away just by itself. So I'm just gonna put this on the C tier. But those little berries are a little surprise guest. Even though we did not get them at the supermarket, I'm just gonna put them on the S tier because I love them and it's my video. I can do whatever I want. We're starting to lose light, so we gotta move fast, but there's no way we're not trying these. My favorite sweet when I was a kid, little cream cheese sticks glazed with chocolate. These were, by the way, also recommended to me by Maria as well as Denise, so they must be good. Whoa! It's actually filled with poppy seeds. I did not expect that. And check out the chocolate layer. It's actually extremely thin. It barely exists, but it's important. Whoa! My God, it is so good. They're a little sweeter than what I'm used to. They're so delicious. If you don't stop me, I can slam like 10 of these in one sitting. And you know what the best part is? Yes, they're sugary, yes, they're sweet, yes, they do have plenty of calories, but they're actually also quite high in protein. So much so that in Germany, supermarkets are actually starting to sell these as protein bars. And I think that's genius. These are amazing. You probably remember they come in a ton of different flavors. I actually bought one with poppy seeds. The problem is this first one already had poppy seeds, so not that much to try here. But when you see a coconut flavored cream cheese protein bar, you don't say no. Tastes like a Bounty gone wrong. This one, not a great variety. Almost any other cream cheese bar I've had tastes better. Chocolate ones, berry ones. This is gonna go on the D tier because considering what the potential of this is, it's very bad. But this one, without the shadow of a doubt, this is an S tier snack. And not just for nostalgic reasons, it's just amazingly delicious. Now let's move on to something we found in the candy aisle, which is Nomeda. I don't know what Nomeda is. Do you know what Nomeda is? Do you know what Nomeda is? Nobody knows what Nomeda is. Let's try a Nomeda bar. The hell? It's like chocolate covered wafers filled with a thick layer of very thick jam. It's not terrible, but it ain't great either. The chocolate is not that good. The wafers aren't crispy. The jam is a little weird. It's all right. I'm gonna give it, no, actually, you know what? I gotta be honest. This is a D tier. It's not that good. Edible for sure. Enjoyable. I don't think so. Nomeda recently came out with a peanut butter and jelly bar. This is how Nomera should have been all along. Oh, I guess there still is jelly, but that jelly is like less weird and it's mixed in with peanut butter, and that just makes it more enjoyable somehow. The nutty note really helps to bring this thing together, and it's just not that odd. Let's be a little more generous to the people of Lithuania. This is a B tier. Something else we found at the candy aisle, Gaidelis. This is a brand you see quite a lot in Lithuanian supermarkets. It looks like a very small Snickers. Vanessa, you have kids. If they want a Snickers, just give them this. And they'll be like, what the f***? You're like, it's a Snickers, eat it. What the hell is that? What the hell's the filling? It's not a Snickers. It's so weird. It's tasty, but it's so weird. I think I can tell you exactly what this tastes like. Hold on. How did they do this? I don't understand how this is possible. The inside tastes exactly like a Biscoff cookie, but it's smooth. It tastes like a cookie, but it's a paste. It makes no sense. It completely melts my brain. I guess it's like Biscoff spread. That Biscoff spread, hey, good job on these. These are awesome, but it's just like completely unexpected. I think these can go on the A tier, they're good. Okay, this is the deep end, guys. We're almost done. We only have 2 more items to go. One of them being this, Very Berry Cherry. And these ones look dark and pale, which can only mean 2 things. Either it's a terrible product, or, and that's what I'm hoping for, it's a very natural product. Yum! That's actually really good. The flavor is really, really intense, but it's not artificial at all. I really think this is probably just like a very natural product. Actually, let me check the calories. Nah, calorie-wise, it's the same as all the other gummy candy. So, cherry fruit strips, 100% made of various fruit products. No added sugar, no preservatives, no colorants, gluten-free. Yeah, who would have thought there's no wheat in this? It's probably also vegetarian, right? These are really, really good. Congratulations, we found ourselves a winner, a local Lithuanian brand making 100% natural gummy candy from just fruit. Yes, there's sugar, but it's all natural sugar from fruits. So not low calorie. I don't want to get inflationary when it comes to S tiers, so I'm not going to put them there, but they're going to go on the A tier for sure. This is a really good snack. It's time, guys. Time for the great finale. The random ass cake I just grabbed as I walked past the cake aisle. This thing is quite well known. It's called a Napoleon cake. It's like a layered cake, very famous in post-Soviet countries. I'm sure it has something to do with the Russians winning against Napoleon or something, and this is like a celebratory thing, yada, yada, yada. It's always the same story when it comes to food. This shall be the last bite of this video. In fact, the last bite of this incredible food journey to Lithuania, where we tried so many different foods. We went to so many cool places. We experienced a whole new city that turns out to be an incredible one. So let's celebrate with a piece of Napoleon cake. This is so good. I mean, it's basically just whipped cream, and I don't even know what's between that whipped cream, because whatever is between the layers of whipped cream has just completely absorbed all the whipped cream and turned to whipped cream itself. What blows me away is that cake that comes in this kind of box is never good. But this one, man, is it good. It just melts in your mouth. Oh, let me try with one blueberry. No, forget about the blueberry. But this cake is so good. It just melts in your mouth. It's super sweet. Have a little piece of this with a good coffee or a nice tea with a slice of lemon. I think that would be the way to go, and you're gonna be a very happy person. It's hard to put this on a tier because I feel like if you put this much whipped cream on anything, it's like cheating. So yeah, of course, you put it in your mouth and your entire brain goes like, what the hell is this? What the hell? But I refuse to put this on a tier. I'm putting this on a you're cheating tier. That's what I'm putting this on. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna share this cake with the team. Let us know which country we should rate next. I'm looking forward to your comments. Thanks so much for watching.